What up, Broncos country? Welcome back to the channel. Here to recap the Denver Broncos at the Houston Texans, where our 5-game losing streak gets snapped. Broncos lose 22-17. Got to give a congrats to the Houston Texans and their fans. They played a really tough game, man. Broncos offense, their defense, that Texan defense, they were really good. I felt the Broncos defense was kind of iffy to start, but they really straightened up throughout the game. Sucks, though, man. This was a victory we definitely needed. So did Houston. They wanted it more. And, they were able to hold on and win. Crazy thing is, the Broncos played so bad, but they had a chance to win the game. But this was one of Russell Wilson's probably worst games of the season. A lot of him trying to force the ball, making mistakes. He threw 3 interceptions. I believe 2 of them were definitely on him. One of them, though, I think it was the Texas defense making a really good play. And that was the first one he threw, what's the guy's name who picked it off? They have one corner on that team who's just a ball hawk. Looking here. Oh, Derek Stingley Jr. Yeah, the first one. I forgot who it was on the Texans defensive line, but Russ throws the ball, and it actually gets deflected. Tried to throw it outside of Judy, got deflected, and Stingley made a really good catch on it. He actually kind of bobbled it, but he still caught it. The second one definitely on Russ. He tried throwing it deep. He didn't have enough mustard on it, and Stingley came down with it. And then the one at the end of the game, just trying to force it on 3rd and goal. I wish he would have just thrown it away. And, we would have went for it on 4th down, had one more shot. But, nope, that's what happens when you force it. And, yeah, Jimmy Ward with the clutch interception for Houston there. This loss definitely sucks. See, a lot of Bronco fans are back to their old ways, saying that, season's over. I thought it was over like a month ago, though, like a month or 2 ago. Apparently it was not over. Honestly, I think the Broncos can still, I don't want to say it. I don't want to jinx anything. They could still, go to the thing. You know what I'm saying? It got a lot tougher, though, after this one. This was, like I said, definitely was one that we needed, but there's still a path. There was some teams that lost today that actually helped out the Broncos. We had the Browns lose. That was good. We had Pittsburgh lose. That helped. Kansas City lost. And just to rub salt in the wound, man, if we would have won, we would have been one game behind Kansas City for the AFC West lead. Oh, it sucks, man. I almost had a clutch comeback, too. This one stings. This one stings. But it is what it is. Those have to forget about it, bounce back. They have a pretty favorable schedule for the rest of the year. I think the toughest game they have is the Lions. But doesn't mean it's going to be easy. They got to put in the work. It's going to be hard, but it's doable. We're going to need a little bit of help from some other teams, though. So, all right. Yeah, everything went the Broncos' way. Just they did not win. And the Colts won. That also stung. But let's look. Towards the end of the game, though, it's kind of weird. The Broncos were not really clock managing very well. They were coming under a minute, and they took forever to run a play. I felt like that was kind of dumb. I think what they were trying to do is just run the clock out until there wasn't much time left, but I don't know. I feel like they should have just went with the flow, kept running their offense, even if there was time on the clock. The defense was playing great, but who knows, man? Who knows? So, anywho, enough of my rambling there. Third down's got to be a lot better. Even Sean Payton talked about it after the game. They were pretty bad on third down. I mean, the offense was really a no-show for most of the game. They had, come back, late in the game, but it's like, where was that first half? First half, we put up 3 points. It's like, can't really win games on the road when you're doing that. But, yep. Looking at my takeaways here. Broncos defense, although I thought they played a lot better towards the end of the game, second half mostly, didn't have a single takeaway this game. They had 15 in the previous 4 games, which, yes, eventually that was going to stop. It was going to keep, they weren't going to keep taking away the ball every single time, but, man, if they could have gotten that one takeaway that was fumbled, but the Texans recovered it on their side of the field, they would have had great field position. It was around the 30. I remember that. And, man, who knows? Maybe the Broncos go down and they score and take the lead. I think it was like 16-10 at that point. Maybe they go up 17-16. Maybe the whole momentum of the game swings right there. But instead, that's when they punted to Denver. First play is when they get the interception. That's when Russ threw his first pick. And, it's just momentum swings, man. Just stuff like that. When it doesn't go your way, really hard to overcome. Unfortunately, Texans own the tiebreaker over the Broncos in the playoff picture, so that sucks. But, all right, let's recap. We haven't even recapped yet. First quarter, 10-11 to go. Matt Amendola, 29-yard field goal. I honestly thought that first half should have been 9-3 at halftime. Dameon Pierce with a 3-yard run with 3:49 left in the first quarter. That's when Alex Singleton, pushed C.J. Stroud. He got in his face, and they throw a flag on Singleton. I mean, it's just a boneheaded play. You can't do that, especially in a game of this magnitude. Like a must-win almost. It just that right there hurt. I mean, if you take away that touchdown, Broncos win this game by 2. They get a field goal at the end. They'd win this 20-18. I mean, I can't really say that. I mean, I'm pretty sure the game would change. So who knows what the score would be. But anyway, that was huge. Okay. I was hoping that wouldn't happen. And they threw the flag. Like, oh, gosh. So they go up 10-0, and then they get the ball back. So when the Broncos offense just could not get anything going. They're pretty bad on third down all day, like I said. Another Matt Amendola, 38-yard field goal, made it 13-zip. And then 1:24 left. Broncos get a little drive going. Offense starting to look a lot better, but they get stopped. They have to kick a 34-yard Lutz field goal, makes it 13-3. That would be the half. Third quarter, 8:51 left. Matt Amendola, 38-yard field goal, 16-3 at that point. And then Courtland Sutton gets a 45-yard pass from Russell Wilson. That was beautiful. That was a 3-play drive. 16-10 at that point. That was 4:47 left. And Courtland, that's the first play all season the Broncos have had a touchdown, like a deep touchdown. Not in the red zone, which is insane. I didn't even realize that until they were talking about it. Fourth quarter, 14-16 left. Nico Collins, who absolutely torched us. I got to give that guy props, man. Texans got a good receiver in him. He was great in this one. I mean, we couldn't do anything. He got a 3-yard pass from C.J. Stroud. He's wide open. He burned Mathis. I think it was Mathis. Or was it? I think it was Jaleel McMillan, actually. Mathis. Do we have Mathis still? I thought we cut him. Anyway, I think it was McMillan. 22-10 at that point. They went for 2. It got picked off by Fabian Monroe. 2 minutes later, though, 12:04 left in the fourth. Russell Wilson 1-yard run. That's where he threw it deep to Judy, and that set up that touchdown. Judy had a wide open, touchdown if Russ would have threw it to him earlier in the game and did not get him. I mean, this was a game Jerry Judy could have exploded. They just did not use him properly. I feel bad for him, man. It's not always Jerry Judy playing bad. I mean, there's some games where he is, doing what he's supposed to be doing. He just doesn't get the ball. So this would have been a really good game to get him involved. Unfortunately, they did not. Yeah, I made 22-17. That would be the final. The Broncos had chances there. They had the chance at the end of the game. Just Russ forces it, throws the interception, and that ends it. But team stats: 282 yards total for Denver, 353 total for Houston. 3 turnovers for the Broncos, 0 for the Texans. Those turnovers were costly, man. They were costly. Especially 2 of them. 2 of them led to scoring drives. Don't believe the third one did. I'm trying to think. I don't think the third one did. That's when he threw it deep, or the second one. That's when he threw it deep the court, underthrew it, though. I don't think that ended in a scoring drive. 16 first downs for Denver and only 14 for Houston. Time possession 33:04 for Houston and 26:56 for Denver. Game leaders here. Russell Wilson 15-26 for 186 yards, a touchdown, and 3 picks. Did not throw a pick. He hasn't thrown a pick since week 10? No. I don't know. It's been over a month. I know that. He had a pretty good streak going until today. C.J. Stroud 16-27, 274 yards and a touchdown. Javonte Williams, they did a good job stuffing the run again, just like last week, even though Broncos passing game a lot better last week. They play a lot better on third down. Javonte Williams, 13 carries, 46 yards. Dameon Pierce, 15 carries, 41 yards, and a touchdown. Cortland Sutton, 2 catches, 77 yards, and a touchdown. Nico Collins, oh my gosh, 9 catches, 191 yards, and a touchdown. If a guy, burns you for that, probably not going to win the game. I mean, almost had a 200-yard receiving game. I mean, the guy was crazy. Russell Wilson had 10 carries, 44 yards of rushing. After that, the only other double-digit rusher was McLaughlin with 15 yards. Receiving, Jerry Jeudy, 3 catches, 51 yards. Javonte, 3 carries, 24 yards. Humphries had a 12-yard catch. Everybody else, 6 yards or less. Defense, we had 5 sacks total. So that's pretty nice. Singleton had a sack. You had Locke with a sack. Zach Allen with a half sack. And Baron Browning with a half sack. Jonathan Harris with a sack. And Juquan McMillan with a sack. We had no turnovers. So, yeah, losing the turnover battle, especially on the road, it was going to be tough, man. But the crazy thing is we still had a chance. We had a chance to win at the end. But Houston, they made the play. Davis Mills actually came in for a second and got a first down. He had 1 throw for 18 yards. It's like, man, I mean, he went in there, did what he was supposed to do, Houston rushing. Devin Singletary had 36 yards on 8 carries. Stroud had 11 yards on 6 carries. Receiving, Nico Collins with a big game. Braven Jordan, 3 catches, 64 yards. He played pretty good, too. Everybody else, didn't really do much. But the same guy kept cooking us. Stroud fumbled. He recovered it, though. We talked about that. The Houston defense had 3 sacks. They had one with Jonathan Greenyard. And then Will Anderson Jr. He big game against us. He was pressuring Russ a lot. 2 sacks for him. But yeah, and then the Stingley had 2 picks. Jimmy Ward had 1 pick, my bad. That was it, man. That's what happened. Sucks. Broncos are fall to 6-6. Still 2 games back. Kansas City in the division. They're 1 game ahead of LA and Vegas. And they're a game back of the last wild card spot, which Houston does have the tiebreaker. And now the Browns have 5 losses. The Steelers have 5 losses. So we are a game behind those 2 teams. Maybe they lose, we go back on a winning streak, which I believe they fully can. Team has to believe as well. You know, it does suck to lose this game, man, but it's hard to win games in the NFL. It's hard, especially hard to win on the road, especially against teams fighting for the playoffs like this. But you know, it is what it is. Just gotta move on to the next one. We play LA next. They played the Patriots. Did not look very good, but NFL is a week-to-week kind of game. Put it 6 points out. They could put up 30 this week. You never know. So Broncos going to have to go back to the drawing board and get ready for this one because it is another big matchup. I don't care the record. It's a divisional matchup, so get ready. Anyway, hope y'all enjoyed the video. Hit the like button. Subscribe if you're new. Other than that, stay safe. Be good. Keep the faith. Go Broncos. Sucks. We'll bounce back. See you in the next one.